All right, you guys, it's another week. Donovan Sadiq Show, Don't Believe the Hype. This is my section of it. And what we're going to talk about today is no reparation plan, no vote. And that's going to be my stance on that. Hey, you guys, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, however you guys are at. I'm Donovan Sadiq, joined by my partner in crime, Demetra K. from the Demetra K Show. And Demetra, let's just talk about it. On your show, you talked about Sunday. It was about the...
It was why do we crack the whip harder than the oppressor?
Harder than the oppressor,
yes.
Meaning...
We hold our own to a higher and harder, not higher standard as in good, but a harder standard than we do, let's say, white people.
Okay.
You know, depending on what it is. You know, like, for instance, we talked about Valencia Love. That's the lady who bailed R. Kelly out. She said she was a friend. How true it is, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But... Well,
you know, he probably tapped that a couple times.
I doubt it because she's a little bit too old for him.
He needs the money. I think he can do what he got to do. He trusts me.
But seriously, though, so you have this campaign of people wanting to shut her down, going to Yelp, leaving bad reviews, and, you know, things like that. From what I understand, she owns a daycare as well. Mm-hmm. So people are saying, you know, take your kids out of there and this, that, and the other. Oh, my gosh.
Because R. Kelly might show up.
I mean,
I heard all kinds of stupid stuff.
Yeah, just silly stuff. But it's like, okay, I'm not... Should she be shut down? Questionable. I don't see any interest in or no reason to shut her down. But I'm like, okay, we're going to shut her down, but you have the Waffle Houses still up and running when they're, you know, adverse to black people. We saw, as I said on the show Sunday, Chiquizia Clemens was choked out and sexually abused by police officers. Waffle Houses are still turning over waffles or whatever else they serve in there. Mm-hmm. The Asian beauty supplies.
Correct.
They're notorious for, you know, whooping black women's asses on a regular basis.
Right. And we're still patronizing them.
Yeah, they're still turning the profit up in there. So it's like, okay. But yeah, here's
I don't mean to laugh. I'm sorry.
But I'm just, well.
It's funny. It's I mean, we can think of
a whole host of other things that are adverse to black people, businesses rather, and they're still up and running. They're thriving, actually. I mean, we saw one video where... The black lady was beat up or whatever, punched in the mouth by the Asian dude.
Right.
And he has a 50% off sale, and there are droves of black women. I mean, he's
cursing out the brothers making a stand for him.
So that's what I'm saying. So we won't shut those people down, but we want to shut down Valencia Love, who is doing what is legally within her rights to do, and that is bail R. Kelly out, whether we agree with it or not. Mm-hmm. You know, the judge saw fit for him to have bail as high as hell, but somebody came up with the money, got him out, and so now we want to shut her down. It's like, too bad we don't save a lot of that energy for the real oppressor, because Valencia Love is not oppressing us. She's not doing anything to us as a collective. Right. You know, so, but we want to put all that energy toward just one person instead of the institution. Or, you know, not to belabor the point, but, you know, R. Kelly has been a monster for a very long time. Okay. So why are we just now using this energy, you know, to get R. Kelly?
Well, that's like in the music business. It's secular. So his music has kind of fallen off a little bit, and we're a little older now. So now we're just going to go ahead and use them up. And
so if he doesn't step in the name of Love 2 or something and it's hot, then he'll be back on
popping again? He'll be back on popping, you know, because, you know how that works. But you guys, don't believe the hype. You guys, I get a lot of questions about what is don't believe the hype and what it's about. Don't believe the hype is like right now. You're looking right now. We are live on YouTube on my page, Donovan Sadiq page, and right behind us is a green screen. Now, if you guys are familiar with our show, on D's show, whatever, the green screen is really good because you can put like graphics back there, and it really helps highlight what we're saying and how we're doing. It gives you a visual of what's happening. But if you pull this screen down, you're going to see a wall and a window. And that's what is really going on behind this screen. And that's what this show is about, to tell you what's really going on behind the narrative or what they're trying to get you to think. So a lot of people have been messaging me in regards to Feel the Burn, Bernie Sanders. And everybody knows I am a big Bernie Sanders supporter. So they're saying, well, you know, now you support Bernie Sanders. What do you feel about him and the reparations situation?
Right.
My stance has not changed in regards to reparations and the reparations talk. Okay. Kamala Harris all of a sudden is now talking about reparations.
Correct.
Okay? Fine, you can talk about reparations. What is your plan? That's what I'm asking for. What is the plan? If you ain't got a plan, you ain't got my vote. So Bernie has made it abundantly clear that he is not for reparations for black people. Now, I think that's an oxymoron is because there are documents, and if you go to Phil at the Advise show, he even put them up, where he showed where Bernie helped champion a bill for Israel, $3.9 billion a month.
Right.
For those people that that are Jewish.
And what was we supposed to be getting? 100 million?
Yeah, 100 million overall. That was it. And he was strong-arming these rail systems and these European railers that help transport Jews to the concentration camps and stuff like that. So he wants reparations for his people, but he doesn't want it for our people. Now, I got to respect Bernie because at least he's being real about his. He's saying, no, hey, it's the wrong stance, but it's a stance. He's not tap dancing around it.
Yeah.
He's saying, no, not for you Negroes, no. My stance is this. You aren't talking reparations and you have a plan to get us our reparations, you don't get my vote. What's the controversy?
Right, and which is, because, somebody else made a good point to me, that maybe Bernie is just in there being a distraction.
You think so?
I mean, what else could it be?
Well,
he's running in the Democratic ticket, right?
Yes.
Okay, and so he knows who is instrumental in getting the person elected. It's black people.
Yes.
So he knows now, especially he's known this long before he announced that black people were on the reparations. I mean, we always been, but now like we're dead serious.
Right.
We're no longer giving you our vote for nothing. So he's known that long before he announced. So to me, I kind of had to go with that. Like maybe Bernie is just effing off, and maybe he's paid. He's an agent, is what somebody said to me.
I'm going to have to disagree with that.
Well, the reason why I say he's an agent because he's doing everything to throw the election for himself.
Well, okay. Could be, maybe, whatever, but I'm going to have to disagree. And I'm going to disagree because of this. When Bernie ran in 2016, unless you were like a political junkie like myself, you didn't even know who Bernie Sanders was. So now in some polls right now, he's leading in the polls because now he has name recognition. Remember like when I ran the first time, nobody knew who I was, but the second time I ran a lot stronger.
But he needs black people.
Of course he does. Absolutely. Of course he does. But again, the primaries were rigged against him and whatever. But again, regardless of if you're for Bernie or not for Bernie, no reparation talk and no plan, you don't get my vote. It's as simple as that.
Sounds fair enough to me.
So now you got Kamala Harris talking about reparations. You got all these dummycrats talking about reparations.
Why?
Because it's the talking point now.
No, it's not. It's more than a talking point.
What is it?
It's more because if it was just a talking point, then they wouldn't be talking about it as much. Like now we're hearing more about reparations than we're hearing about any other of their policies or whatever. That it's not just a talking point; it's actually some teeth behind it because they all know that they need black people.
Well, the Democrats cannot win without the black vote.
Right, and so it's become more than a talking point. It's become okay. These Negroes got to
give them something. Yeah, we got to give them something.
So we got to do something. Okay, let's throw that out there. The Marianne Williamson is a valiant effort. She says, I think it's $100 million, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I mean,
however,
but that's way
especially
underballed.
when you hear, Bernie is he's instrumental in giving Israel $10 billion a month.
Right. $3.9 billion.
We can't get that. Right. I mean, I'm just saying. So, and then he's very unapologetic about let's do stuff for everybody.
No. The reparations issue is specifically addressing the DOS. And if you can't address that, you're not getting my vote.
Well, I mean, in AOC, I know she's not running, but that was her thing as well. She tried
to jump on it. Oh, everybody from World War II forward.
No, we ain't talking because everybody else has gotten theirs and is getting theirs, which is how they were able to close the wealth gap between their communities and the other well-to-do communities because they got that influx of cash, money. And that's what we need because it says it'll take us 200 some odd years to catch up.
Right.
As far as the wealth gap. And that's, by struggle and waking up. And so if you just give us the cash and we do right with it, there goes the issue. But we know that overall, including Bernie, because he's a white dude and he's going to look out for his people. They don't really want financial equality with black people or anyone else because we are the lifeblood to their communities.
Well, I have to agree with you on that because in every societal situation, you've got to have the bottom, and we've always occupied the bottom.
Right.
Okay, and if they gave us so much money, and I hate. Okay, here's what I hate. When they give Israel the money, they don't ask Israel what you going to do with it, how you going to spend it. It doesn't matter how we spend it. Yes, are some people going to trick that money off? Absolutely.
I mean, but that's true for everybody. Everybody tricks off money, but there's a lot of us who don't trick off money.
Exactly. So I don't think they're in a position.
And that's what they're afraid of.
Right.
Not to cut you off, because if they really believed that we tricked off money, they would give it to us. You know why? Because they would get it right back.
Right, it goes right back in the economy.
Right. So, but they know that there's a lot of us that really don't. A lot of us want to buy land and businesses and all that. So we can't have them do that because what happens is when they get stable, then they don't need us.
Exactly. Somebody I talk to, the first thing that comes out whenever you talk to a conservative person is, how are you going to pay for it? Does it matter? Write the check.
How do you pay for it?
Right. I mean, wait. We can give the military-industrial complex trillions of dollars every year. Every year, and nobody thinks anything of it. It's an open book. Hey, what is it? When the economy went into free fall, Bernanke or the guy before Bernanke, I forgot his name.
Alan Greenspan?
No, the guy after him.
Oh gosh.
Well, whoever that guy was, Paulson. That's what his name. Yeah. Paulson. He went to Congress. I need $784 billion. Here you go. No questions asked.
Right.
No questions asked. I mean, so that argument about how you're going to pay for it, that argument, it has no bearing because you have a debt.
It's just a roadblock.
Right. Even the UN has said there is a debt that needs to be paid. Now, you haven't paid it in 200-something years, and you're still trying to fight not paying the bill.
Well, would you level the playing field of something that's keeping food on your table? Black people make sure everyone else eats.
Right.
Not saying that necessarily we're serving the plates, but we are giving our resources to them, which is why you have something like a Gucci and all these other people. Oh, well, I'm sorry. Because they've been used to us being asleep and just doing whatever they want to do to us. And now that we're waking up, it's like, okay, well, you know what? I'm sorry. Because they know they get a lot of our money. Even though a lot of us can't afford that stuff, we still have this need to belong. So we'll go spend $2,000-$3,000 on a purse. That's money to Gucci.
Sure.
You know, imagine if black people left Gucci, how much money they would lose.
Right. But my thing is every time they talk about, everybody acknowledges reparations need to be talked about and something needs to be done for the DOS. Okay? Sure. Everybody acknowledges that. They go with the Indians. The Indians have gotten their reparations. They're on casinos. They have standing treaties, which makes them sovereign nations. They're getting billions of dollars in casino revenue. That's why now you go to some of these casinos, like in Phoenix, the arena over there. It's called whatever the tribe's name is, and we got the San Manuel, and
Pachanga,
right?
Rango,
they have their identity, right? They have their identity intact, and they're making millions of dollars as we go in there and spend our money. I mean, their problem is solved.
Because they've helped them.
Exactly.
Now imagine if they didn't get any help, they would be where we are.
Right.
The Japanese, the Jews, everybody's gotten help. Or, reparations.
Reparations.
We're sorry. Here's some monetary, compensation. Here's to help you. Good luck.
Good luck. Exactly.
But it's us. But see, we got to keep up the good fight.
Sure.
Because we even have some Negroes, too. And when I say Negroes, I'm being nice.
Yes, you are.
Well, why are we? I don't think that's really going to help. I don't think we need reparations. Or we just need to get okay, then waive your money so we can all get some more.
Exactly.
And shut up.
Now, the funny thing in this conversation is I haven't heard one word from the legend John Lewis, the Black Caucus. I mean, these people are supposed to be there looking out for our interests. Have you guys noticed? And I'm going to say it a million times. I know my mom's going to get upset and my uncles and other people are going to get upset. That is a failed generation. They have failed. Getting us to go to use the toilet next to white people is not an achievement. Okay? That is a failed, and they have a failed way of thinking. Throw them a few apples and they're happy. Oh, we got this. Okay. No, the fight isn't over. The reparations fight was talked about way back in the 60s, back in the 50s.
Right. Well, I mean, you think if you're talking about somebody like John Lewis, though, and the Black Caucus and all those cats.
Silent.
But they got their money.
That's what I'm saying. They're supposed to be.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be up there to represent our interests, and they're not.
Some people are political whores.
Right.
And what I mean by that is, I just want to be seen here. Not necessarily to be seen doing anything. I just want to be seen in this position because it's prestigious. People mention my name, and oh my gosh, I'm the go-to person. And it's like they've whored themselves out for fame at the expense of their people. Because I guarantee you, if they were in a situation that a lot of black people are financially living in these neighborhoods that they're supposed to represent, they would really mean something. They would go after reparations, but they're like, oh shit, I don't live next to those niggas.
Correct.
I mean, I got a driver who drives me into Washington to go.
I got my Congress pin, so I'm in an exclusive
they've
club.
gotten away from the struggle. They used to know the struggle. They don't know it anymore. And so now it is my job, as your John Lewis's and your Maxine Waters and all those other people, is just to keep you guys, satisfied with just a little peanuts here and there. It's like a baby. A baby is bawling its head off because it's crying, it's hungry. You give it a pacifier. That works for a little bit. Then you feed it something, it's cool. And then, so it's just like a vicious cycle. These black people are going to be mad. Okay, you know what? Let's just tell them we're going to do something. We'll get a lynching bill going on for them. What else these Negroes need?
Right.
Okay, well, Obama did the healthcare thing, and that included black people, too. So they should be happy.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up, too. Kamala Harris, they asked her specifically. She goes, well, my initiative is going to help everybody. We don't want to hear that.
Who else said that? Obama. Right. He says, what did it say? All tides rise.
Boat rise. The tide makes the boat rise. Right.
Yeah.
And we don't want to hear that. It has to be specific. Again, we have said, the black media has said over and over again, because that's why Kamala's not going to win and, her thing has failed completely. We've said it over and over again. You have to be specific addressing our issues. And a lot of these candidates aren't. I haven't heard anything from Cory Booker since he announced.
Yeah, he's been missing in action.
So what's...
Yeah, maybe they just was like... I honestly think... because like I said, I'm in PR.
I don't think they anticipated the black media.
They I'm tell you what they did. They thought business as usual.
Business as usual.
These niggas asleep.
We
already got the vote. We'll go in there and
here's your leader. We want you to vote for this person.
Brown. They brown. We all brown. We gonna get down with the brown. And then when they got shocked, like, oh
wow, they're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe.
They actually did the research about me this time. They actually know I ain't shit.
Right.
I wasn't shit in California when I was AG.
I'm a whore. Right.
And are they, oh gosh.
I'm a side chick.
Right. Those talking points ain't going to work no more. They really won't. Which is how. Right. Which is how you end up with your Roland Martins, who is repeatedly, like his draws are in a bunch over the new black media. Now, you guys dissect what he's saying. He's always mad at the new black media. What does that say? Who's the old media, black media? He is. And so, back to your point about like John Lewis's and all those other cats who are like, he going to take this position from my cold dead hands. He is the same way. He is mad because the new black media is waking people up, but Roland is part of the old black media that has kept black people asleep.
Do you think, and I get this a lot from a lot of my older listeners and my aunts and uncles and them. And by the way, real quick, if you guys are hearing static in the podcast, whatever, what it is it's buffering throughout the system because we got listeners in Africa and Asia and stuff like that, wherever they're listening to. Please listen live if you can listen live. But once the podcast is off and it sets, you're going to hear it completely clear. So I'm just giving you just a heads up. But a lot of the older listeners are saying, how dare you? He's an icon and he's this and he's that. I never said he wasn't an icon. All I'm saying is I've looked at his congressional record. He ain't doing nothing for black people up in there.
Yeah, I mean, you could be iconic and not be helpful. I mean, what does it mean to be an icon? It's like legendary. Yeah. You are well known for something. whether it's music, being a civil rights activist, but you're an icon, but that doesn't mean you're effective
Exactly.
to this day. I mean both things could be true.
I mean, it seems to me every year he's going down to that bridge where he got his head bashed in, talking about, I was a legend, and I marched with King, and I almost lost my life over there. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate your sacrifice. But, nigga,
but have you moved the ball since?
Yeah, nigga, what have you done in 40 years since then? That's what I'm talking about. Tangible.
Well,
Tangible.
I mean, and like I said, no shade to him or his legacy and the things that he's done, but you've not moved the ball. And a lot of that is our fault too. Our younger generation, but
no, I'm have to disagree.
I said part of it is our fault.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disagree because a lot of it's our fault. I'm gonna have to disagree because when you got mothers out there that won't say a goddamn thing about their sons selling drugs in the community, but when the brother stands up in the community, you talk about sit your black ass down.
As I always say,
go ahead.
Can't no woman be that damn bad. Mm-hmm. If you have some weight as a man,
yes,
ain't no woman gonna make you stay out of the life of your child. Okay? Now if a woman is amening your child selling drugs, then the daddy need to come in there and then use his muscle. Because I heard somebody make that argument yesterday on Facebook saying, well, the reason why there's a lot of absentee fathers is because of these headstrong mothers. And I say, ain't no man worth his weight gonna let no woman run him away from his child.
Well, when they got the government behind them, bringing that paperwork,
take her to court. Take her to court.
All I'm saying is, we say nothing about the drugs our young men are saying in the community, but when the young man stands up in the community, we want him to sit down.
Well, I mean, that's just kind of the way it is now, and it's a whole host of things that has helped it get that way. I don't think it's the fault of any one person in particular.
Yes, it is.
But, as far as... these
Morlocks.
As far as the older politicians, and our generation, because like I was saying, John Lewis... He did what he
knew how to
do back in the day. For whatever reason, that wasn't really passed down to us. I mean, there's a lot of things going, in conjunction with that, but we didn't take the ball either. And so now we're trying to do that. That's where you have this ADOS movement and Tangibles 2020 and Dr. Claude Anderson's Us Too hashtag. Is because now we're trying to move the ball, but then you have the older cats, and you want to throw Roland Martin in there too, even though he's not that much older than we are.
Right.
But he's
older cats.
But he's grown up in that era of the democratic mindset and all
like
that
kind of stuff. Right. Think about it. Why is our generation Democrats? Because our parents were.
Right. So that generation, or that mindset rather, Roland and all those people, they're trying to hold on to that. The new black media per se, or the black people are waking up, are like, well, we don't want that anymore. And so they get mad. I mean, you've even heard people like Angela Rise, who are our age.
Rise with bacon and cheese on the side. Sorry.
Liken the new black media to Russian bots.
Right.
And so you only know that's talking points that they've received from somewhere. Oh, let's throw that out there. Let's say that the new black media is not really the new black media. It's the Russian bots.
Look, my mom has joined the thing. I saw you down there on New Roads during the Mardi Gras, Mom, so I thought you might be at work today, but I guess it's a holiday down there.
Hello there.
Yeah, so she's watching.
Oh, now you want to act like you got some sense.
Yeah, I'm acting like I got some sense. Isn't it funny? Wait, the minute I mentioned that, my mom hops up on the screen.
So what are you saying?
Yeah, so never mind.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. It's just I'm inspired because you see times are changing.
Times are changing,
and I really think now black people are starting to get it. It's like we can't keep doing the same thing
and expecting a different result.
Yeah, it just doesn't work that way, and so we're waking up, and we're waking up the establishment.
So let me ask you this politically: do you think who do you think is going to be the nominee out of the Democratic Party? The Democratic Party, sorry.
I mean, there's so many people running. I mean, there's people that we don't even talk about, like what's his name, the Castro cat.
The Raul, not Raul, but
Julian
Castro.
Castro. I mean, we got there's a whole host of people we just don't talk about because
there's 2 other people that just joined yesterday.
Right. I mean, so it's like, how many is it going to be? Like 25? You know, but we don't hear about them because we're too busy hearing about the main people, your Kamals, which we don't even really hear much about her anymore because Bernie has came and stole the show. Mm-hmm. If I have to guess,
I don't think she's going to be the nominee.
I think it's probably going to be Bernie.
Yeah. Well, if they don't rig it against him.
Yeah.
If they don't rig it against him. Because
I think it's probably going to be him.
I honestly think that they are going to try to sneak Biden in there. This guy hasn't even declared, and he's at the top of the polls ahead of Kamala.
Yeah.
You know? So they're going to try to sneak him in there because they don't want Bernie in there. They just don't. And
we don't either.
And if he don't give us those reparations, he ain't going to get the nomination either.
We don't want him in there either.
So you know, we're looking at a lot of very interesting things that are going to happen. And again, for those guys, I'm on Facebook Live right now because the YouTube thing went out. What we were talking about is candidates. If you're not talking about reparations, you don't get my vote. Because a lot of people are trying to say that, you know, Bernie is now saying this. You know, everybody knows I'm a big Bernie supporter. I am. I still am. I think he's the nominee, the front runner in the Democratic race. I got to say Democratic race. However, because he has no plan for reparations and he's against reparations, I respect his stand. It's the wrong stand, but I respect it. He doesn't get my vote. So there's no controversy when it comes to me and Bernie Sanders. As simple as that. So
I feel you.
So
I feel you.
So that's one of the things we wanted to talk about and get that out there and make sure everybody is understanding. And there goes Al just joined us and all that other good stuff.
He's going to be like, it's jacked up. I can't see anything. Because I went on here on mine and it's like, it's buffering.
It's buffering, yeah. You know, I think it just might be this.
Well, maybe you should close some of your windows, too.
What windows? There ain't no windows open. You think so?
It could be. I mean, I don't know.
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it. That doesn't have anything to do with it. You can have those windows open. Ooh, I just shut down Facebook.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. But again, for those that are listening, and you know, and that's what we're talking about in regards to the black media. And a lot of people have been asking me, what is the black media? They hear about it. The black media is basically people on YouTube, Facebook, and social media. We are now talking to each other using that medium to bring, you know, us all on the same page. And, I think it's a very powerful medium because, like I said, I'm not on the Advise Show. I'm not on such and such thing, but I will reference the Advise Show if you want no information about this. You want no information about that. But in regards to reparations, the number, I don't care if it's $1 gazillion. If that is what's owed to us, that's what we should be getting.
No, absolutely.
I mean, cut the check. I mean, we're at that point now. You've pushed this off for 200-something years. Cut the fucking check. And I don't think anybody else is in a position to tell us what we should be getting. And when you cut the check this year, we'll be back again next year. Okay? It isn't a one-time payment.
Right.
I mean, it just can't be.
If you want to do one-time payment, I'm cool with that too.
Right. You want to do a one-time payment, but it has to be tangible amount. You can't just say, here's $1 billion and break it down. The money that the Jews got under the Bernie Sanders plan that came out of Congress, and a lot of people don't know this is happening because they're not paying attention to what Congress is doing.
Right.
It broke down to $100,000 per person plus spouse. The spouse might not even have anything to do with the Holocaust. Plus child. $100,000.
And he don't want black people to get a check.
He don't want us to get a check. I mean, but do you see, you know, so now do people understand the stance that we're taking in regards to this reparation talk? Do not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Kamala Harris. Oh yeah, reparations, that's a great idea. I think it's good. Okay, what's your plan? How do you plan to do this? She doesn't have a plan.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It's one thing to talk about it. We want to see your plan.
Well, I mean, I just think, you know, people like Kamala have to go back to the drawing board. And that's probably where she's been. Well, back to the drawing board. We haven't seen any, as you would say, her edges or, you know, her
bouncing, her bankhead bounce.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of that. Maybe she's, you know, like, okay, let me actually go and devise a plan.
Well, and also they've been trying to hem her down with the Jussie Smollett situation because remember she was one of the first to jump on that and make a statement.
Well, it was sexy to do at the time, you know.
Right, but now you need to answer. Okay.
Because, you know, just follow the bouncing ball. Black people like Empire. They love Jussie Smollett.
Yes.
He's this victim of MAGA, the homophobia, racism, and nooses. And so that's all the things that's like, okay, we got to capitalize on this moment here. So nobody, because had I been on the team, I'd have said, whoa. Because, you know, I was from the beginning like, nah. Yes. Jussie lying. So I would have said, listen, I know it sounds good and sexy to jump on it because it's a hot button issue, but we need to wait.
Or don't make a comment on it at all.
Yeah, we need to wait and just say, you know what? We hope all is well with Jussie, but we don't want to jump the gun.
Let's stay to the issues.
Yeah, let's make sure all the chips fall where they're supposed to fall in this case before we rush to judgment.
Absolutely.
You know?
Before we go real quick, we still got some time left, but what I want to talk about is, again, I know people say I'm coming hard on Kamala Harris. The thing is, for those of you who do not live in California, you've got to understand this woman is the devil, okay? And what I mean by the devil is she slept her way to her position, and a lot of the policies that she instituted, and she tries to come off as a progressive. She's nowhere near progressive. If you look at her record, she's more conservative. Recently, another female DA came out and said there will be no charges for that police officer shooting of, what's his name? Stephon Clark. Now, as a regular citizen, if I shoot somebody, or I'm in a car accident and I accidentally kill somebody in a car accident, it was an accident, no malicious intent, I hydroplane, the car went out of control, boom, I killed somebody, whatever. I get charged. Manslaughter, involuntary manslaughter.
Right.
Now, here's a cop who was following a suspect, drew his gun, shot the man 8 times in the back, over 20 shots overall, but 8 hits in the back.
Right.
No charges.
Oops.
How does that happen?
I'm sorry.
If it was a white person, do you think that the outcome would have been different? Because you have mass white shooters, and they take him to McDonald's, so you need something to eat real quick.
Well, what happened to the black cop that shot the white lady?
Oh yeah, they
gaffled up.
Okay.
And I don't even think it took a whole year from the time that it happened to the time that he was charged.
What happened to the police union and stuff to protect him?
Blue lives matter for white cops.
Okay, gotcha.
And Asian cops, because the Asian cops, like the Kai Gurley situation, the cop was Asian, and his community rallied behind him.
Yes, right.
And
I remember that.
I'm sure they raised enough money because the DA was a brother and said, "Oh well, we're just gonna, they found him guilty." But I think they only gave him probation or something.
Yeah, they gave him probationary.
Now this dude, went in blindly and shot in a hallway in a New York apartment building and shot in there without even knowing he was shooting at and shoots the guy.
Yeah.
But the Asian community had enough money and power, says, well, he's sorry and we don't want him to go to jail. So, but in those cases, it matters. Blue lives matters for certain people.
Certain groups.
But when you're a black cop and you kill white people...
It's a wrap.
Oh, you off the grid, nigga.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, but I bring that up is because Kamala Harris is so quick to talk about the institutional changes she implemented while she was the Attorney General of California or whatever. And where? What? When this issue of bad cops, you wanting the list, she fought against it. Look at her donor list and you'll see, especially a lot of these AGs, you'll see that a lot of their donors are like the Sheriff's Association and they're all backed by, and this specific Attorney General, you look at her donor list, she is backed by all kinds of police persons. So of course she is not going to charge a police officer with a crime.
Right. Well, again, somebody like Kamala, she didn't think those things were going to come back to haunt her.
Right. And so for those of you who do not live in California and you're thinking, oh, I'm just being unfair on the sister or the other colored woman or whatever you want to call her.
Colored?
Yeah.
Colored woman?
Yeah, the other colored woman.
Gal.
Yeah, the gal, whatever. You guys have got to understand, it's just like where you live. I don't know what's going on in your state because I don't live there, but I live here. And I'm trying to give you guys a warning. Do not vote for a person of this caliber. This woman locked up black and poor people at a record clip. And I know some people say, well, she's the attorney general. She's doing her job. That is true. But she was also an attorney general that had the power to institute change. And she refused to do so.
Right.
So that's my stance on that, letting you guys know what is going on with Miss Kamala Harris. Cory Booker, I don't know what and where he is. He's kind of gone right now. Who else is in the race? People say, okay, well, who would you go for right now? I mean, Bernie's the front runner. I would say Tulsi Gabbard would be a good vice president if he was looking for a vice president, if he gets the nomination.
I don't know anything about her, honestly.
Yeah, well, she's a military person, and she's like, hey.
I just, me personally, I'm just turned off by the whole process, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. To where I haven't, plus there's so many people in there to do research on. I just think we just need to just go on and face the fact we are going to be left with the front runners.
Right.
Whoever those top 3 people are.
Al Jackson says, y'all should just go Facebook Live with the show because the internet sucks like a straw. Hey, you ain't lying, brother. And I got I got 400 megabytes of thing, the top you can get in the area.
I think it's just these machines.
You think it's the machines?
Yeah. On the next segment, we can use my phone.
Yeah, I got an extra phone I can put out there.
Yeah, so that's what we'll do.
Yeah, we'll use the phone
next segment, we'll go live on the phone.
So you mean to tell me I bought a $150 Chromebook and it operates like this? This is why I bought it. You talked me into it. Can I get my $150 back? Silence.
As long as I owe you?
I will never go broke.
Never
go broke. So we're talking about that, and we're talking about a lot of stuff in the political realm. But the black media is a significant problem in the Democratic clog. We're giving them a lot of problems. People say, what about the Republicans? Republican folks ain't trying to get Trump ain't trying to get the black vote.
Right.
He ain't trying to get the black vote.
Well, he didn't really, it didn't help him win last time. So.
Exactly. He ain't trying to get the black vote. So, the black media is becoming a very, something that they did not plan on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just not working. Let's talk about Cory Booker again. Okay, so Cory Booker was saying, put yourself in the shoes of white people.
Why?
When it comes to blackface.
Why?
Because, we got to understand, the pain that they go through.
Why? For
their abundant racism. And maybe we would understand them a little bit better. That's what he said. Paraphrasing, basically. Now, in the news recently...
That was like common, just extend a hand of love to racist, to what's it, to racism.
Yeah, racism.
Why we got to be doing that?
Exactly. Shouldn't they be doing that? Now, there's been a controversy right here in California, the 3rd MAH, Marine Aircraft Wing, where young Marines were seen in blackface. Now, some people are trying to say, well, that was a black mask to get zits out of their face, whatever. What people don't understand is in that video, there was a before video and comments were being made in regards to blackface. Now, I want everybody to understand this. A lot of my friends that are listening, a lot of you guys, we were overseas together. A lot of you guys are mixed. You guys are, whatever. And you guys are, you have your thing. You got to understand this when it comes to this racism and that keeps rearing its head on a constant basis. These are not isolated incidences. These people are taught. Occasionally, you have to let these other people know where they stand and who they are. That is something that's taught. It ain't something that he's picked up. It's taught.
Well, no, I think they got it from watching the internet.
No.
Because we're some good, upstanding people, and we would. That's what they said in that one case with the kids in Alabama, where they got caught talking about the niggers need to go to the concentration camp. We're just cool with the niggers, and then the girl's daddy, because they always find out who you are. Okay, the girl's dad, he owns some dealership, Toyota dealership.
Yeah, right.
So she puts out this janky statement like. And I'm paraphrasing, I don't want any drama over this. I didn't mean it. If you guys could just take it down out of your spam, that'd be great. Pretty much that's what she says. So the daddy, he was like, this heifer didn't do it right, I guess. And so she gets this long apology. And we didn't raise her that way. We taught her to be respectful and with love. And I'm like, if that ain't the statement of a racist who's caught.
Exactly.
You taught your daughter this behavior.
Own it.
And she got out and showed her ass in a 2019 where there's, the internet and people will recognize you like that. Now you see that your sales are going to plummet because your daughter took what she learned in the household out in public.
Right. Now, I'm not a Marine, but my brother's a Marine. My father was a Marine, so we come from a military family. One thing I know about the Marine Corps is this is something that, number one, those Marines' careers are over. You can forget that. It is done.
It was it stuff.
No, it's over. It's over. An investigation is going on, and unfortunately, they're going to be made examples of what not to do, because one of the Marine Corps' rules under, I think, their bylaws is you are not supposed to do something that disparages or puts a corps in a bad light.
Blackface goes with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So their careers are over. And I know there's a lot of people out there defending them, saying, "Oh, it was just a black mask," and they were just no. There is even if it was a black mask, why are you putting it on YouTube? Why are you doing that in uniform? Why?
It's just because I didn't think we'd get caught.
Exactly. And then
they can't see who I really am.
And then some of my friends when I put the post up to inform people what's going on.
Don't tell me they defended this mess.
Well, they didn't defend it, but they said I didn't know what I was talking about. It's not a real thing. Those aren't real Marines. Blah 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 blah. If it was real
Kermit the Frogs, what difference would it make?
Right. But here's the thing. The article came from the Marine Corps Times.
Oh, no, that's fake news.
Fake news. Right, exactly.
Yeah, satire.
And then I called down to 3rd MA, the public affairs officer, and I said, "Hey, I'm reading a story about some Marines," and they said, "Yes, there's an ongoing investigation, and this is how we do stuff." They're lying, too.
They're on the team.
Yeah, exactly. But see, we're so used to people telling us what's going on. All you got to do is call down there and say, "Hey, I'm reading this article. What information do you have on this?" If they don't know, they're going to tell you, "We don't know what you're talking about." This is official investigation, and this is some serious stuff, because how many black men and women are in the Marine Corps? A whole hell of a lot.
Probably more than any other branch, right? Army?
If you're talking about, the Marine Corps is the smallest branch. Oh. So, yeah, if you're talking about like that. But there's a whole lot of black people in the Marine Corps.
I'm just saying the people I knew was in the Marine.
Right. 29 Palms. You see her plaque right at the front gate. History making. But
not quite.
Yeah, but these are serious allegations, and it's I think the rule is called conduct unbecoming a Marine. Okay. That's how serious the Marine Corps is about.
Sounds legit to me.
their legacy and what they want to perceive. Are there a lot of racists in the military? Absolutely. We all know that. Some of your best fighters come from the South. Because you take those guys that hate blacks and Indians and all of it, and you put them over in Germany and these other countries. Man, you can get a kill shot of 13, 14 people, one guy.
Right.
So, we know this goes on, but to sit there and defend something like that, no. That was legitimately done to make a point toward their fellow Marines and their fellow armed forces people. This is how we feel about the situation. That generation, it ain't like they were our age. These are millennials, if not younger than millennials, and this is what they're doing. Where did they pick that up from?
Right.
It's cut and dry. So
you learn to mess from home.
Exactly. Hey, you guys, we got a second hour coming up, and that's going to be the Demetra K side of it. And you guys tune in. We're going to switch cameras here and get a better feed, because these Chromebooks just don't do what they're supposed to do. But again,
they suck.
Yeah, they suck. But check out Demetra K on Sundays, 3 p.m. Facebook Live. She talks the real stuff. Last time you went, how many people was that on there?
About total 5,000.
About 5,000 live. And she answers every question as we go. If you guys are down in the South and you're celebrating Mardi Gras, please save me some beads.
Is that what they do?
No, they don't. That's East Coast. That's East Coast. Save me some beads.
Some crawfish.
Yeah. If you're down there and got the gumbo rolling and you got the crawfish boil, suck a head for me or whatever. And I don't suck head, but, Some people do.
You left yourself wide open.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. So we're talking about Mardi Gras, and here's the funny thing: Wednesday, some stuff is coming up Wednesday. I think it's Ash Wednesday coming up.
Don't suck no heads for me.
So
I'm good.
but you guys have fun down there if you guys are doing that and you're celebrating
Suck
the
a
Mardi
head.
Gras. The crawfish head. You gotta do the crawfish head.
Now you clarify.
Yes. We're gonna be back in the second hour.